Hello, how's it going? It's been a while since I made a video. Um, actually been a couple, 3 days. And I was watching something on Facebook, and someone said this on social media, and it's about the rapper Ice Cube. And it's something that occurred to me while I was listening to the criticism and things about he met with President Donald Trump, and what is his heart? What is he trying to do? And and it's crazy how some people, it was a big backlash and big misconception. But the people who was criticizing the Ice Cube never, who's behind social media, never decide to bring their face out in public. They never decide. They sit back and I hear a lot of these people on social media, whether it's YouTube or whether you see them on Facebook or maybe it's Twitter or Instagram, and they never seem that they so quick to call somebody a sellout, but yet they don't want to sit and put the footwork in doing what they do. They don't want to put the footwork and be the kind of person that they would go and do a civilized way. I look at it this way. You get to it, and you see a lot of people that haven't really lived life. When you get to a certain age in life, you see things that you didn't see in your previous youthful life. Like when you're 20 years old, life is different when you hit 30 years old. When you hit 30 years old, things look different when you're 20 years old. You get to 40 years old, things that you change over a period of times and decades, and you don't stay the same person that you are. Your outview of life is completely different. Every time, every decade we get older in age of these bodies, there's certain things that you've seen in the past, and you see a repertoire. You see things that go around and around and around in a circle. And some people jump to conclusions, but it was one that, like, for example, people who criticized Jim Brown and a few other people that met with President Trump, and they call him a sellout, and I've heard some horrible things about it. What they call a few people that, even though that they wouldn't agree with the way they did it, but they just call them a sellout and all kind of horrible names. But you gotta understand, people like Jim Brown have, he was the kind of person that stood up for something and did stand up for something at his age. But they don't tell you that he did help out people who were incarcerated. That's what, and he helped people get jobs and try to reinvent them back in society. This is what they don't tell you about Jim Brown. They don't tell you about certain things that the other side, that some people don't tell you all what they do, and take their money and they take their resources and try to, even though there's certain things I may not agree with Steve Harvey, for example, about, but there's a side of Steve Harvey that he do have a place for a camp for young men to go and show them skills and things, a camping and things. But some people don't want to talk about that. Ice Cube, on the other hand, he has something that he wanted to give veterans, people that have been out of the game of basketball for a long time, a chance to come back and reinvent their skills to see if they still got it. And he pays them however they get paid. I don't, for making those appearances as sponsors and things. And when he was a young man, yeah, you can look at where he come from, with the NWA, and they promoted that time. But when you're young, you don't see things when you're in your 20s. And I'm surprised some people criticizing him are not looking at it in this logical way. Now, because you realize that you try to go back and make the same difference. And to me, I think Ice Cube is at a different level in life that he sees behind the scene. And I thank God that he's the kind of person that didn't just say, well, I keep my fame, I keep my fortune and my contacts, and screw the rest of the community. But there's something in his heart that he sees the injustice, and it resonated. And that's what was something unique about Ice Cube. And I respect the man, because we all have made mistakes. We've all went in our younger times. We've all done some things, whatever path that you do, whatever, if you did things, if you was a gang member, if you was a criminal, but at least at some point you changed the way, you changed your destiny, you changed the way you think. You see people that was in that kind of lifestyle, when they didn't see destruction until maybe the good Lord, good God Almighty had to put them behind the bars and let them see and let them think and let them see the generations after generation that's coming through them bars and prison and jail cells. And maybe when they were young and they were hard, when they were hard headed, they were just undisciplined, but something, they stopped acting a fool, until they figure out, I want to get out this cage one day, but I'm gonna have to get myself mind right in order to get right. And then you come to a point in your life, in your maturity in your life, that you don't want to make the same mistakes that other people done. And all you can do is but at the same time you have a certain level of wisdom you try to give to people. And I don't see him coming and dogging out the young people and criticizing what they do, because he during his time and era, that's what he did. And so I think people were able to connect with him, because he still is a black man. He still live in California, so he understands what that life's about. Yeah, he's a probably multi-millionaire, who knows by now, but at least he's a multi-millionaire that's kind of waking up to what's going on in today's world. At least he cared. You have some people who are multi-millionaires who are black, that don't even care. They don't care about the young people unless something they're trying to make a name for themselves. They're not willing to go and talk to the powers that be, and whether who is in Trump, if it's administration of Trump. And some people don't understand this. Even though for example, Trump didn't like the guy from North Korea, okay? He call him Rocket Man, and he would say stuff like that because certain things, but Trump had to come to some resolution. Like, this guy got some weapons. We could go to war or something like with this guy, but there's a certain mutual respect that comes along. You may not like the people that you do, but sometimes you have to go before them in the face of a leader, in the face of a president, a face of a person who is in the public, and try to do the right thing. And some people, it mystifies some people, because like, oh, why are you talking, associating with them? Or are you doing something closed door behind back? And people are so quick to run behind and try to, instead of really thinking about what this person is doing, they so quick to just judge this person. They never been in the position of power. And I like what Grandmaster Jay said. If you think you can do, you develop your own solution. You go out there, you won't be a hothead and try to fight. Let's see how far it'll go. But you criticizing him, but you never put in the work yourself. It goes going talking to these individuals. And sometimes you got to talk face to face with an enemy that you may not too particularly like and may not too particularly care for, and see where you come from. That's just proper negotiation at any level and at any standard. So I just don't understand people are coming at Ice Cube because he talked with Trump. No, he don't agree with everything with Trump, and I'm sure he don't agree. I'm pretty sure he don't. But he understands he is the president. He understands that sometimes you have to go in to get something for your people, and he's standing firm ground on it. And maybe it's the start of the reparations part of it. if it's something, because clearly that's his own way of getting the ball rolling. And even and no matter if it's a Grandmaster Jay, he was at a certain point in level. People call him out because of something, but that they didn't get a chance to do. Why is he part of his militia group? Well, he told you the reason why. Sometimes some people don't respect a certain degree because some people do blow you off. So he had to use common sense to raise up a group and say, I'm gonna put my face out there, and if I bring the magnitude of people, then they're gonna have to really see, whoa, where did this come from? Because some people ignore you when you're just an individual, just saying anything on social media. But when you come from off the computer, come from out of the avatars, and come from out and put your face on the line, and run for political office, and knowing that people don't like you, and knowing that people don't like what you say, and they can threaten. Sometimes people threaten people, and just like you see with the governors, people don't like what this governor say. You got 200 crazy, 13 individuals trying to get 200 individuals to try to overthrow the so-called governor in Michigan, and then trying to send that message that if we do this to her, then we can send a message and do this to other governors. And and that's terrorism. That's clearly, you threatening a legal government and official is terrorism. So you see that method didn't work because they didn't like it, that the fact that they had to go along with the current administration saying that we had to shut things down and we had to wear masks and be social distancing. Right now, it did hurt some businesses, but at the same time, it's costing more lives. See, no one's not thinking the whole logical thing about it, and there's a lot of things that's going to happen in this country that a lot of us ain't going to agree, but you don't want to be stupid enough to step out of pocket to go threaten some individual in some high authority position just because simply you don't agree with something, or say something online, and just because you don't agree, when you can have a mediocre conversation to get your point across, stand your ground without taking it to the point that you have to threaten somebody. And that's what he did, and that's what they did. It was to go and negotiate, because it's easy for you to go in and talk to someone like Donald Trump. But me, if I go in there and screaming and hollering, call him a racist son of a B and da 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 da, he's not gonna hear what I got to say. But if I come in there and just at least talk with rash, even if he is a cocky son of a gun, but you can get your point across and make him think about what he's saying. You don't have to call somebody a bunch of names. You don't have to go in there and threaten their life. If you use wisdom, godly wisdom, you can get them to, even if they're a most stubborn, hard-headed person, you can win them with the wisdom with the word. And that's come from, and some people need to learn about wisdom, ultimate wisdom, not self-wisdom, but the ultimate wisdom that's God-given to some people. And it may not be the way, it don't look contradictory to what you may do, but it makes sense. It gets some results done. And even though you have the current president, he's kind of irrational, no doubt about it. But we got reality until November, till decision is made in November, and who's going to be placed in the seat in January. So you talk to the person that willing to negotiate, who is in office, who holds the power. That's just common sense. I don't understand why people don't seem to understand it, but they so quick to throw someone like Ice Cube or any individual who chooses to go meet with the powers to be, and say, well, let me go and, but I can't go in there mad and pissed off and cussing them out, and or do what them 13 individuals did and threaten the governor of Michigan, trying to say that, well, if we don't do that, then this is what we're gonna do behind on the floor door. The next thing you know, you have the FBI and CIA and some other organization rolling up at your door because you made an improper threat to an elected official. Some people don't think about that. You have to respect the authority, whether you agree with it or not, because they hold authority. No matter if they get your opinion is, and even if they are bigot, whatever, there's a way and there's a logical way, and it's just a system to do it. And apparently, it's easy for someone to sit back and report about it, but it's one thing if someone put their boots on the ground and actually do it in a logical way. And some people took the misinterpretation of what some things that what Trump have said, and they took it for their own reason. And each individual choose what they do. But if someone say go out there and launch and attack and kill other people, then yeah, they are held to a certain degree responsible. But if people don't have their own brain and their own mind, like, no, this ain't gonna solve anything. This ain't you jumping on somebody, inflicting violence and harm. If they can't exercise common sense, they was gonna do it even if he wasn't in office. There's always been people inflicting harm on people and being racially insensitive to other people in this country. It's always been like that. Trump didn't start it. It was here before Trump. There were other people doing the same thing. If you look at the history of this country, they've always done things like this. And there's always been some crazy president or leader or governor or senator or representative someplace in the United States saying something illogical that caused the havoc. And you'd be surprised. He's not the first one in history, and he won't be the last, because it could be somebody worse than him. I'm just saying that you don't agree with their opinion. But hey, there's no perfect politician. There's no perfect celebrity. And it's something that is easy for people to sit up there and say that, see what I'm saying? This. But until you're put in that position of power, let's see how people come at you. When your face is exposed, let's see how people come at you. When that even though people think it's aspire, I could do something better than him, or I could do something better than her. Okay, then you go in your own lane, do your own thing, and stop criticizing the people that do, and you do your own thing. It's like some people. Let's look for example like the church. You don't have to listen to the people that's in church. You don't have to listen to the TV pastors. So you go and do your own thing. They do what they do, and eventually they're going to be exposed. Now, people got a choice. If they want to still stand by someone who is about prosperity and money, it's on them. If they've been exposed and revealed, it's up to people. You can't stop people from doing something that, even though that they agree with this individual, regardless, they're gonna follow regardless. So you're wasting your time criticizing this person when they see what you're doing, they see what this person's doing, and they say, well, your problem ain't solution ain't any better. Because the people who's making the substance and getting results is the ones that people are paying attention to, other than the person who sit back and criticizing and ain't put they're not organized, they're not put together, they'll have no plan, but they want to gripe and bitch and complain and want to be a leader, and then when they find out they're not in a proper position of being a spokesman or being a leader, they find out the hard way. So it's easy for someone to criticize when you're not in a position for being a public figure, for one. And when you're a sports athlete, a politician, entertainer, or somebody was a former, when you're constantly in the limelight, it's easy for it. Well, since people are well known across the country and around the world, well, let me see if I can use this for the good. Why you gonna go talking to that person when you got some kind of conspiracy behind the walls? And people like, I'm trying to get you in front of the person's face, and you criticizing me because I'm talking with this individual behind the wall because I'm not angry and pissed off and threatening and things like that. I mean, people are just nuts, and it's you got so many people just like in the biblical times, want to criticize, but they don't want to put in no work. They have never took the sacrifice. It's a sacrifice, and some people don't realize we've all made mistakes and we all human. And there's some people that they choose if they want to still be arrogant and be stuck up and still be a narcissist. And you can warn them, you can tell them, but they're gonna still follow. There's gonna be a certain segment of people that's gonna still feel like that person is a narcissist. It's nothing you can do. But I say this, to get back to what Ice Cube was doing, leave that man alone. I mean, at least he's trying his own way. At least he has a subconscious to do that. And you have many black people that do. They'll showboat and they don't care. They only do want to make a limelight. They want to be popular. You have people that want to be around you just before you're popular one day. And as soon as you old news, they kick you to the curb. That's how people in general have unlearned. And you see this when you get to a certain age. When you get to a certain point in your life, you see that some people ain't worth a crap. You see that they say that they love you, but just like in during the times, going all the way back, like I said, in history, they love you one minute, they crucify you the next minute. And it's the truth. They love you one minute, and then when something go wrong, or an envious or jealousy person with a spirit, because you're getting more love and you're getting more attention, just like any community of people start coming at you in your kind of way. And so he was smart enough to go and talk to the president and say, this is what the black community wants. And he sees what's the inside, because part of him is still, he never forgot the streets, he never forgot where he came from, but at least he's in a better position that maybe he can go and talk and negotiate with people. Like I said, because you can go and screaming and hollering at the president or your representatives, they ain't gonna hear you. They ain't gonna hear what you got to say. If you sound like you all balanced and you bad and you pissed off and you just, I'm gonna cuss you out and cut you up, and no one's gonna negotiate with anybody that way. You can call them all kind of names and under the sun. That's not going to negotiate any things. If you want to negotiate for your people, then they'll see same people that want to criticize Ice Cube and people that's trying to make a logical difference. Then you come behind the screen and do your part and put your face out there. That's how I feel about that. It's like, why don't you put your face, instead of criticizing someone who's trying to do something, do your part. It's like, I take it the same way in life. Like if you take, for example, look at the church. I'm going to use this as an example. Not everybody's meant to be. It's easy for someone to say, see, the pastor's this and pastor's that. But if he's a man of God and he's being blessed and he's putting the work and he's putting the prayer and the faith and the counseling and things, and these are good men of God who put in the work and put in the persecution, have personal things going on in their life that they don't want to tell everybody about. They have personal nightmares. They get attacked in their body. They get attacked in their mind. There's people around them that wants to power hungry, that wants their position, but they don't understand that they want there's a seed of element of people that are jealous because they want that mantle, and that mantle wasn't meant for them. They was meant not to meant to put in front of people. Therefore, you got these same people that act like Satan because they want to be like it's like God and Satan. Satan wanted to be like God because he's ever known, he's everlasting, every power, every anything. So he was given a certain amount of power, but that power ain't good enough. But he wants to be the ultimate power. That's the same way man is in this earth today. You have people that look like you, not always just the opposite of you, that want your anointing. They want your power. They want your charisma. And they know that people, they want something about you, but they despise you. They hate you for some reason. And they don't even know why they doing it, but that's just the nature of the beast. They just have this envious spirit. So they gossip about you, spread rumors about you, draw lies, and it hurts after a while. But you know, when I learned one thing, when people criticize you, means that they doing something what the devil doing, and God's making it turn for the good, because He said that you're going. But when an individual do right, the righteousness of an individual, you're going to get persecuted. You're going to get you're going to get haters, as they say, and backstabbers and all kind of, because whatever it is that you put in the time and put in the work and put in sacrifice and put in veil, and you got someone that says, and they see that you have that kind of charisma, they see that you have that voice, they see you have that kind of people hate that. People hate people who have. There's just some people that got it, and there's some people that don't. I mean, it's like you can take the most beautiful looking person, whether it could be a woman, and some woman can find a man that could be the most handsomest man on the planet. You're going to find other men's going to hate him. So there's going to be some men going to hate him because he's charisma, and he's charming, and he's swooning. She could be the same way. She's charisma, she's calm, she's elegant, and you'll find some women that's going to say, I hate that bee. Like, why? I just can't stand it. They don't even know why that they don't like that person. Because some people are given something that others can't have. And so it's the same way with musical ability, whatever ability that got them to their position status, like Ice Cube. His talent got him where he was at, and you have people was hating on him. There was people that hate on Nipsey Hussle. You see that happen. That's the envies and someone jealousy and tend to murder that young man. People always hating on you for something, but because they never took the ability and put in the work and put in time and put in the effort, and some people just ain't gifted with something, so they hate on people who do, and that's the truth. They're not gifted to walk forward. They're not gifted. They don't have the charisma. They don't have the charm. They don't have it. Some people have it. Some people in this world have it. You know, I'll be honest with you. I don't. You know, I have my own way. God has made me unique. I may not be charming and beautiful, and I don't want to be beautiful, but I'm just saying maybe may not be the handsomest person on the planet, but I'm not gonna be envious of somebody because someone's more handsome than me. That's just or have more money than me, more charisma than me. That's just the way the world is. Some people have came into the world with natural ability and natural gifts. Well, I'm gonna be jealous at somebody. That's something that's automatically, and they have favor with. There's some people that have favor with people, and they have a following. There's some people like that, and I don't hate on somebody and attack somebody, whether they on social media or whatever, because some people have it, some people don't. Some people got to work hard for it, and that's just the way life is. But get back to these celebrities, and it's just that they have it, and they use their position of power, where there's some people that have been put into power, and they really turn against their own people. They don't say nothing. They don't do nothing. They just go along with it, and they see many people that look like them. You know that the celebrities from all walks of life, people walks of of life that have this mindset. They don't care as long as they don't act. If they know how to put on the face, they know how to put on the act, but they're not gonna step behind and lose their click, their class, their clout, their notoriety, because they like being at the top. They don't want to be at. They never understand that the reality they can be put at the bottom because they want to stay at the top. And when you get used to chasing things at the top, you know you want to be still part of that class, and you don't care if it means you could cut you would throw your mama off the boat just to be in the part of that class. And there's some people are well known have done that, and that have sacrificed their own family because to be a part of that class in some form or fashion. For their friends, so-called friends, backstabbing. Some people, there's no good thing that dwell in men, and that's I see it. It's so true. It's no good thing that dwells in some men and women, because it's the truth. Some people would gain anything, and if you have something that's given to you, that made you a lot of money, that's made you a lot of fans or whatever. Man, people you can just see the envious in people, the hatred in people, and that's why I said there's some people. There was a time that I won't become a celebrity, but to see what they go through, that had to be hell, man. People just coming at you and writing up things about you, false narratives about you, hating on you, threatening people. You can't go out in public nowhere because someone's ready to jump on you or beat you up or call you out your name, try to get you to fight, try to get you to argue so they can sue you. I mean, people do anything, and you have to be very careful about who you associate with, because next thing you know, you in their mess. That's why, and I really don't. I feel sorry for some celebrities. Yeah, they got all the money and they got the houses, but wait. When you're in the public eye, the public they crucify you. They crucify you. Oh, jeez. And you have to be a strong individual to overcome that. You have to be a very strong individual. And I take my hat off to some people who are in that spotlight that can handle that. That can weather that. Because some people can't weather that. And some people knew if they were put into a spotlight like that, and people will ring your name all over social media, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or YouTube, and you just see the nastiness in people just because they ain't associate. They want to decide the other track because they wanted to go and talk to the enemy to try to get him. Why is he talking to the enemy? If they got some kind of conspiracy going on, like, no. I mean, that's common sense. Some leaders don't like other leaders, but they know there's a certain degree that they have to come respectfully. They can't go in there angrily and pissed off and cussing them out and getting all up in their flesh. It's the same, and so that's the same way Ice Cube. He's gonna go in his own way, even though Kanye West tried to do his own way. But you see whatever your view about Kanye West is one thing, and Jim Brown and whoever. At least somebody willing to go and negotiate with the pharaohs of the land. And you may not agree with the pharaohs of someone who's doing it, but you're not in their position in the mainstream that's well known, has been on TV and in music or in entertainment. So what are you hating on? Hating on about? And how would you like it if you was put in that position and there were people come back and they spreading false narratives, criticizing you because it's something that you felt in your heart, you telling the truth, and they don't want you to tell. And just imagine people just reaming you, and people start maybe even getting next to the closest people to you, your friends, your family, and say, I heard that so-and-so said that you were doing this and doing that. Oh, people can be scandalous. So it's not easy for a public figure. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. And that's why I said I couldn't get into politics or And I'm so glad I would want to be a well-known, what is a reality celebrity or celebrity, a sports celebrity, a entertainment as far as actor, movie star, rapper, singer, R&B, because people are just, their nature is just horrible. Just because you seen talking with the leader, you in the same room and you meet somebody, they expect you to be mean and nasty at the same time, and you don't even know. You may not like them on TV, but they might be a nice person in real life. But just and that's just common sense, and some people can't see that because they want you to be like the majority of them. This person is hateful, so you gotta be hateful. And that's the truth. That's how people. Each day, each time, when you get older, you see life a little bit more different than what you did before. When you get to a certain point in life, and when you're 20, you don't see things differently. When you get in your 30s, 25, 30. We get to 35, you see different things. We get to 40, we get to 40, we get to 50, and it's 60, and so on, and so on. You see, because you're living life, you're living through the experience so it shapes the way you, reality shapes the way you think, because you see there's something that you didn't see in your 20s that you see in your 40s, and now you see what's the bigger thing behind the whole wheel. See, a lot of people haven't lived that life. They haven't lived a whole life. They're not at a certain point in life. So it's easy to criticize and call someone out their name when they haven't really lived through life. Are there some old fools? Yes, there is. But at the same time, you have to use wisdom and common sense. And so, just because someone get on the so-called amen team, but they ain't never had to put in the work. They never had to go and negotiate and go talk with the individuals. See, it's easy for someone to hide behind an avatar on a social media when someone had to come and put their face out in public to go talk to another person who put their face out in public, and everybody know what you look like. But the same people that's criticizing, they ain't putting their face out in public. They want to do it from behind the screen because they know they couldn't take that kind of heat. You couldn't take, and that's why they what I like so much, they call it internet bullies. See, they don't have to, but when you come behind the internet and see what in public, and you a public figure, and everybody knows your face. There's people that want to jump on you. There's people that want to hate you. There's people that want to destroy you. Hell, there might be people trying to cast spells on you. That's how bad it is. Literally cast spells like they try to do with President Trump. His people are literally, hate him to the point that they are wishing things against him. That's something, man, like, wow. That's some hatred that I've ever seen. But he's not the only one. And that's like that. Is when people, there's a spirit of envious and jealousy is magnitude among people. It's a spirit of it. And it has no shape, no size, no color, no demographic, no association, no religion. It just rises in every sector of people, from the rich to the very, very poor. It's like, dang, it's like, for example, you ever see the magazine about billionaires that want to compete, that they want to be the top billionaire? It's like, why? And I was hearing this one show about they have to make a couple more million than this other billionaire. It's not the fact that they have got everything. Possibly they'll have to worry about clean water, clean air, clean food, clean neighborhoods, everything. When you got billions, I said, you a freaking billionaire. What the heck who cares? If you a millionaire, you doing damn good. Then the majority of people's under the what, the million status, 500,000 status, 100,000 status. That's barely making 100,000, and they probably, and then any people on 100,000, well, they just considered and majority was considered poverty. But at least you, I'm like, for real? I mean, it's just amazing, man. It's like, dang, it's like, so even when you get to the point that you have everything, you don't have to worry about nothing. Whatever, you own businesses, and you compete with another billionaire. Say, I'm jealous because I gotta be a top billionaire. Like, why are you jealous? You're still part of the same elite. You're part of the 1% that have everything, and you got generational wealth. So you ain't have to worry about nothing for the rest of your life until the world comes to an end. But the majority of us who don't, well, we shit out of luck. I mean, it's the truth. I mean, with healthcare and what's going in our air and water and things, and well, when and so people, it's like, what are you complaining about? But you have big people who are competing now. They're billionaires, and you got average people fighting for something that if you get something more than that they do, they hating on you. That's why this thing, this jealousy, this envious spirit, it's crazy. When God has gifted you something that puts you in a better position than the majority of people, and maybe it's because certain reasons, because they haven't put in that work, they haven't put in that time. Most people haven't put in the time and effort and work to make that first $1 million or first $1 billion. They ain't put in that time in that, and some of it was inherited. But it's the same thing. It's just how when you put in the position, man, you see so much people hate on you, and that's why it's like, boy, that's something. But when you see what a celebrity goes through, like Ice Cube, oh shit, and many other people like that, like God, and people are just reaming. And the good thing, they don't pay attention with most of the social media, but they do. It's like, man, people are just hating. And then some people they're cunning, they're crafty, and they'll be your friend, and they move up on you like Satan. They'll get close to you, see if you tell them something, get close to them, and the inner network of friends, and next thing you know, they blaspheme your personal business from 5, 10, 15 years ago. I mean, it's like, wow, people have no morals. They just have no conscience. Just to get the fame, just to get a notoriety, they'll throw anybody up under the bus. Even if they did, they throw people up under the bus. Just to get, yeah, I knew who Richard Pryor was. That's what he did. They're like, damn, that man's gone, man. You still throwing. You still throwing. Some people are just low. They come across someone they knew, somebody was a celebrity, and just to get that 15 minutes of fame, they would throw it under the bus. That should people who do that should be shamed off the planet. They should be shamed. People should just look at them and just go, dang, there ain't no code of ethics. So the moral of the story is, if you ever get to a level like Ice Cube with different celebrities, watch your friends and family. Watch those people around you, not just someone that look the opposite of your skin color, or opposite of your religion. Because it's more likely people that look like you in your religion or what your background come from. That's what I learned from my experience, man. Because people they'll pull out something you did when you were a kid, just expose you, And it's just like, wow, this is some real personal stuff. There was one person that was exposing about some other celebrities. Like, wow, just putting their business all out there like that. Like, God, dog. I mean, some stuff is just need to be staying in the dark. People don't have no regular. People don't have no code no more. It's just everybody just want to expose. People. These are people well known, and everybody got a little secret in their closet. Some things that just need to be kept in the closet. That's not between me, them, and the one who made them. That's it. But it's just amazing how I've seen people come behind Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, and countless of other people who are gone on in the glory, and they still dragged to the ground. It's like, what the heck is wrong with these people? It's like these people ain't in the land of the living no more. They just come back and they can't leave them with their proper legacy. That human being, okay, so they had some struggles. Okay, they wasn't always up to par, but people were so quick to just throw you under the bus. Like, man, yeah, this is what he did. He so cheated on his wife, and why? Why do we need to know about that? Someone said something crazy about Martin Luther King like that one time. Like, what is the purpose in that? Why? What is? I'm just using that as an example, but some people have done that. It's like, okay, that's him and Coretta's business. Why are you tearing down the man's point? Let him have his legacy. He's the one that laid his life on the line. He's the one that got shot. He's the one that got murdered. But damn, people, even when you physically murder, people will come at you. Well, he did this and she did this. Okay, so what? But people would do. So you ever become a celebrity, and you get on American Idol or something like that, man, make sure you keep watch any people who's in your association or in your clique around your crowd. And that's the best advice. If you trying to be like one of the celebrities, have less people in your business. Don't let them get. I don't care if they're your bodyguard. Or anybody. It's personal associate. Don't tell nobody. None, because man, people would say anything just to tear your name down. Like, God, dog. Just to make a quick buck, or write and have some publisher write a book off of someone else's dysfunction or struggles. But yeah, it's something when I look at that. When you a celebrity, wow. I don't see anybody, and I don't think I would want that smoke, boy. Ooh, that's a lot. Ooh, geez, a politician. Ooh, a well-known politician. Oh my goodness. People are so they quick that you get every temptation. It's almost like if you one of the kind of people, you hit the lottery and you hit for over $1 million or something, you hit for $15-20 million, you got everything coming out of the work at you. You do. You got people that would never normally would ever even talk to you, wouldn't even stud you. Oh, listen like me, because and I would know what kind of people that they were, because it's like, look, I know what kind of person that you would when you see me on the street, you probably wouldn't be bothered with me. You would probably think I'm some slow looking ass dude. Is I already know. I'm at the point in time people talk to. I'm an individual. I guess I'm one of these people in time that I know people's human traits, and when they think that they smile in your face, gosh, when you have a connection with God, He'll show you. They got a plan. They got an agenda, and that's why I say, if you ever inherited some more money than the average human being on the planet, Don't tell nobody. If you get some inheritance, and if you all of a sudden became wealthy or rich to wealthy overnight, don't and get famous. Don't you had to do like most of the rest of them people do. We go undercover, go into a ground with less population of people, and so you don't want nobody breaking in your house, trying to take stuff out, find where you tracking you down through your address, and you have someone stalking you, and it ain't easy being a celebrity. Then if you say something publicly, people drag your name through social media. No, I don't think I want no. And if God ever blessed me with something like that, I ain't telling nobody. Don't if you ever hit, let's say if I would play the lottery and I had that kind of money, that ain't gonna be showboating or nothing. I'm gonna do like one of people that you don't know. You say, wow, that guy he had all that kind of money. You won't know until after I'm gone. I see why some people are quiet and reserved, keep to themselves. That's why some people probably live to see 100 years old, because they kept all these crazy people out of their life. These people are crazy. And some people that it could be your relatives, it could be your so-called friends, neighbors, anybody. Some people are just nuts, and you really gotta trust in the Most High God. If you don't have a relationship, ooh-wee, if you got money or you got that kind of prestige, you better make a relationship with God. Because, oh man, if you're not tough as nails, and people criticizing you and dogging you out, and as soon as you get some money, they want to find out what your weakness is. They want, if you got a drinking problem, you'll find people be your best friend. They'll buy the liquor for you. They'll bring their own liquor. You on drugs, cocaine, crack, heroin, weed. Oh, you won't have no problem being popular. You'll attract everything up in your household. You'll attract people that want to do underground strippers and prostitutes and stuff. Oh yeah, people. Ooh. And you'd be surprised with some celebrities. They will probably tell you some stuff. People, I can, man, we got this hookup around the corner. This how much he worth? $30 million. $30 million. You can get paid. Just come on and get their sister, their female friend, and get a couple girls, and if you're a celebrity, you're a music celebrity, an actor, whatever, and whatever your poison is, you have some people around you that's trying to take your spotlight and try to take something else away from you. And that's why I say you have to be careful. Man, I would want their life, man. Ooh. People say that you raped them, or somebody say that, yeah, you said this or something wrong, and next thing you know, it's all over mainstream media, social media. Yeah, you have to watch the company that you keep. That is so. To say that, to be put in that position, be well known like that, wow. That's but the man would get back to he's just trying to do the right thing. It's just time, age, and wisdom. People mistake that. People forget that they forget about that. And the ones who say that they would, he do it like this person, he's selling out, he make us look bad, but they won't do it. They won't lift the finger. They won't try to do nothing. What have they done? What have they come out? Have they raised it to get themselves in that position? No. But they want to criticize the people that do, because they have a certain appeal to people. And it's just some people have a certain appeal. It's a good thing, it's a blessing, but it could be a bad thing too. There was a time I would love that, but be honest with you, the way people are today's world, I don't want that. I don't want these people. I'm cool being reserved, being in my own little corner. I say my little 2 cents whenever I can put up on video, but it is with the being the main spotlight. No. Because you got to be really strong, an individual, and then you get to the point. You should expect that people, no matter what you do, they're gonna find something they're not like you about. I mean, that's what they're gonna find something. No matter how much good things you do, they're always gonna be one bad thing go wrong. One thing you say, one person you associate with, it throw everything out of the hat, and they think that they know you. But and that's what any person that's been in the spotlight. They don't take the time out to look at what the good things that they do. Bad things gets more ratings. Bad things get more views. We just a culture that we love bad. We like being horrible. Some people like, if there was a choice between God and the devil, who would come to the internet, they would rather see the devil come to the internet. I mean, that's just what that's the way some people, they would rather entertain Satan. They really do. They would just love to put on the show for Satan. In fact, they would even agree with Satan. They say, yeah, that was just unfair that God kick you out of heaven. And that's how way people are in the planet today. They the same way. They have the same nature as the devil. Some of them do. And they don't like, the devil don't like when you outshine him and outspotlight him. That's the same way with people. They don't like it when you outshine. They don't like it when you shine a spotlight on them. You outshine them, it's like, I'm supposed to be, and you'll see some people, and you will see the envies and jealousy in people. I should be more handsome than they are. He's nobody. It's like, really? And you can see the narcissistic in their spirit coming too. I should be, well, go ahead. Go do your thing then. No. And then when they try to do it, it never works out the way that it planned because they don't have it. They don't have that natural appeal. They don't have it. And they're going to get mad and they get frustrated. And that's what it is. So they have to try to be something evil than what they do. Like I said, they carbon copy was like, the devil carbon copies with God, and then you have people that carbon copy what the devil does. They want to do it their way, but says, it's just the same way. And me and my resident manager was talking about this last night. It's funny how God, for example, I know a lot of people don't like to hear about this topic. Like, there's a point in a level in the Lord in your prayer, in your worship, like He could take you, take you spiritually to another place. And an enemy, people do this for the enemy. They can do the same thing. And they'll what they call astral travel. But guess what astral travel came from? It came from the kingdom of darkness saw what the kingdom of light could do. Because God was able to take people in and out and keep them while they're in their natural body. He can take the spirit out of their body. And that's the same thing what the enemy does. So what I'm saying is, this someone always trying to carbon copy, saying I got to be greater than, and that's the same thing that man has the same mindset. Is some of us them? Is some men have the men of God mindset of God, and then you have some men have the mind and women and men and women have the mind of Satan. They want more power. They want more glory. They want more. They want to be more beautiful. They want to be more. They want to be more contentious. They want to, if it means anything, if it means going and trying to compete with somebody, they'll do it. And so this is what I learned. That's why a lot of people get jealousy when they act in the position of an artist or musician or politician, because they want that notoriety, they want that fame, they want that attention. But they don't know that's going to cost them at some point when you have that kind of notoriety, when you have that kind of attention. Because you see, look at any celebrity, a politician, or any well-known famous person. Look what they go through, who really are about something. And they make one mistake, say one thing, and look how they crucified. They crucified like you don't even believe. When it comes to their politics, that's why politics is a sensitive thing. It really is. Politics and religion. I can see why it's very, very very, very, very sensitive. So I'm sorry to make this so long, but overall, just let people, whatever, if they're celebrity or non-celebrity, they will do what they do. Let them be gifted at what, and you don't have to agree with everything that a person does. But if that's their own way of getting a better resolution that doesn't cause conflict of violence, death, destruction, and loss of life, let them do what they gotta do. Why you have to obviously it didn't fall in your, these people who are like that against Ice Cube and other people, it didn't fall in your lap. So you got to figure out where you got to do to make a difference in your lane. Let them be in their lane, you go in your lane. You may not have access to the president because you're not in his lane. You're not in the limelight. And you would say one thing, but you don't have enough people that put you in the limelight. That's throughout the world. So, hey, stay in your lane. Let them people who've been in the limelight, they know how to handle it. Because you be thinking that people be aiming in your corner, you'd be surprised. You try to do something, and the same people that was with you criticizing Ice Cube and other people will turn back around and criticize you. That's a fact. Because if you had the same level that he did, they'll be jealous at you. That's a fact. And as people think that you got some kind of conspiracy because you went to go meet with the president, it must be some kind of backyard deal, whatever. I mean, and they running your name down the line. And I said that's his way of getting the resolve done and getting some kind of thing started, kick off with reparations. It may not came in a full package, but at least it'll get the ball started. One thing after the other. If they're trying to make it right, let them do it. It's got to be process. It's going to take the Most High to bring it through a certain process, and it's the Most High that can prick a man's heart to make it give it up. He did it in the time of Egypt when it came to Israel, and so look, 450 years that these Egyptians had these people in bondage. For 450 years they served hard, rigorous in labor, and each time God sent a representative. They said, maybe we need to let these people go. Well, you know how the pharaohs was like. They said it was back then. No, we're not giving them nothing. No, I'm not going to give them no gold. No, I'm not going to let them go. No, they're going to serve regularly till they die and till they death. And so while I'm saying this, if the pharaohs of America and places, they could say, no, we're not giving those reparations. I would say this to them. You better learn from what the Egyptians did. Because they say, no, we're not going to give these people nothing. We'll give these other people something. And they keep afflicting us. Don't worry. At some point, the righteousness of us is going the innocent blood, the innocent victims that they murdered, like they done. It's going to come to a point that America's going to see worse and worse. If they don't want to do the right thing as far as African descendants of slaves, I'm at the point, okay, you don't want to do the right thing as slaves, okay, then whatever curses hit this America is already up under judgment. So it's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse and just like in the days of Egypt, it got worse. It got worse, and no matter, there's nothing that they're praying to the gods did. There was nothing that the magicians could do. Their magi, their witches, their warlocks. Nothing can do anything. Nothing that they can do to make a situation better. Because they knew that there was a higher power. And all they had to do is listen the first time. But they didn't want to listen. So they said, no, we're going to. So they kept beating them and with beating and murdering Hebrews who didn't comply. They they beat them to submission. They beat them until they murdered them. They did lifting up the bricks and painting them with salt and putting them in the back of their kingdoms. So America she don't want to do right by the descendants of slaves, then she will pay a price. Simple as that. Ain't no sense to sit back there and worship. I ain't worship death for nothing. But when you don't do proper thing and proper justice, proper right as far as reparation, then unfortunately we're gonna witness just like the days in their land. They gonna pay it. And the ones that been talking all this, man, I ain't gonna give these Negroes nothing. Okay. I ain't got to wish nothing on you. I ain't got to physically harm you. It's just that the circumstances around you is gonna start falling. Because if it did to them, it's gonna happen here. If it happened to Rome, it's gonna happen here. If it happened to Babylon, it's gonna happen here. Believe me when I tell you, it's happening as we speak, and the people who's saying it is gonna afflict them at some point. The injustice that there's a certain standard of people, and that are being beaten, the ones whose innocent blood has been shed by the rigorous system in this country, because they feel like they can still execute the law just like they did in Egypt. So they in for it. So we had to go through the trials and the pain. But every time when they whipping on African Americans, the innocent ones, not the ones that is in complicit with the crime, not the ones that are complicit in the sins, but when they put on the ones that do, watch. And more than they do, the play's gonna keep speeding up. The play's gonna keep speeding up. And the judgment's gonna keep coming. And we ain't gotta prove this no more. And that's why they hate you, black man, black woman. That's why they hate you. But they don't know the harder they hate you, the harder the plays come against them. And some of these other nations too. They ain't figured that out yet. When they think that they got to keep these people under persecution, even if they do, even if it was Joe Biden, he didn't complete his word. If they keep allowing that machine, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden do, and he did the worst thing as Trump, they're gonna fulfill it right there. They're gonna bring this mother son of a gun down faster. The judgment will come down faster than anything, and we're gonna be witnessing some things. But we're gonna be all right. Trust me. So they don't want to pay reparation. They want to dance around and make up excuses, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Tell them, remember Egypt, remember Rome, remember Babylon, and the other nations before. They didn't want to do right by their people. They didn't want to do right by the blood. They kept persecuting. They got more blood and more persecution. The more evil ramped up until one day, boom, it started to turn. The tide started to turn. So as far as that reparation, they can keep neglecting. They can keep dancing around, mocking and laughing. But when they start seeing the persecution, what's happened to African Americans come over on the other side, it ain't gonna be pretty. Because it's biblical. It happened to them. What makes you think it's not gonna happen now? So it's just something to think. So next time, so keep hope, keep prayer, and it's coming. It's gonna be the Most High is gonna shake, gonna rock their foundation. He's rocking it. Just hang on. Y'all take care out there.